So just prior to asking you all the questions, I just wanted to inform you that it's your choice to answer any of the questions, and if you don't feel comfortable answering any of them, then you don't have to, and you can just say pass. What is your experience with eating disorders or other types of issues like body dysmorphia or anything like that?
I've like knowingly had a issue with it since like 6th grade.
I've been struggling with an eating disorder since 2017.
Okay, so I started being very aware of my body and my appearance at a very young age. Growing up doing dance, I would always see myself in a leotard and see other girls in leotards and always wish I looked like how they looked.
I think it was a lot to do with dance, and
I've been a dancer my whole life, and that was like a lot of it, and I was going into professional ballet company.
my mom, she had a really bad just like body dysmorphia, so like she always commented on it.
Rather than being supportive.
Yeah.
So you said it started in 6th grade, so that makes you, do you know how old? Like 11 or 12 maybe?
12 probably.
I think like 11 or 12 is when it started.
If you can identify a specific moment, do you know like what kind of started it?
Like when I started to look at colleges and like I knew I wanted to like go into professional ballet company.
Everyone had complimented me because they said I had like the perfect dance body and all of that stuff. So as soon as I like started gaining weight and like losing that, people started making comments about that.
And we would get measured for our costumes in front of everyone, so just that whole like conditioning to be very aware of my size at a very young age is kind of how it started.
Were you diagnosed with an eating disorder?
I was diagnosed with anorexia.
I'm diagnosed with binge eating disorder.
My family, I have a therapist and I've never told her about it. I've never told my parents about it because I also always kind of invalidated myself, thinking like it wasn't that big of a deal or else like they would notice it.
What were some of the physical effects of your eating patterns or eating disorder?
My teeth started getting really like the backs of my teeth where I would throw up and the stomach acid would be in my mouth. Like I would have a lot of like teeth issues at like the dentist and stuff.
I guess I gained weight, which is weird because a lot of eating disorders you think of losing weight.
Really low energy, my hair started to get really thin.
I was always like very lethargic. I didn't ever want to do anything.
I also like stopped my period for like a year.
I had issues with like blood sugar, blood pressure.
Always sick from eating so much.
And what were some of the emotional and mental effects of your eating disorder on you?
Depression.
And I would just like look at myself and hate myself.
Anxiety.
I was extremely sad. Like it like made me like probably at my lowest point because like obviously being malnourished and also just like not having fun because your whole life was around food, and like I wouldn't go out with my friends and like eat with them, or like I would go and just not get anything and stuff.
And just looking at myself in the mirror and sobbing.
What behaviors did you exhibit because of it?
I definitely isolated myself from people. I like stopped talking to a lot of people.
And like I had like this weird time about like the time of day I used to eat. Like I remember like I would not eat until certain times of the day.
I stayed in my room. I never like ate with my family.
People like I would totally isolate myself, like I would try not to be in the house around meal times. I would be in my room, I'd be sleeping. I was throwing up like every meal I ate.
I always felt like I was doing something wrong. Like I had to sneak food.
I wouldn't eat breakfast, I wouldn't eat lunch.
How did it affect your family?
My mom would like cry all the time.
They like never really like thought of anything of it until I started eating so much that like the next day I'd wake up just like puking. Like I was always sleeping, so my family was just annoyed by that.
Would you consider yourself recovered now?
I don't know if I'll ever like fully be recovered. Even if I like just let myself eat whatever I want, I'm still always kind of just like in the back of my mind thinking about it.
Even if you are recovered, like it never really goes away.
Exactly.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
Get yourself to go to therapy, but like I guess I would tell myself to like stick with it because like I was so hesitant back then and like I would not go. But if I stuck with it like a long time ago, I probably would have gotten better a lot faster.
Stop comparing myself to other people to get help earlier.
Exactly.
I would probably just like want to be more carefree and like think less about all this stuff and like actually just spend time like having a childhood, having a high school experience, like enjoying dance instead of thinking like when's the next meal I have to avoid, when's the next time I have to throw up, like that whole thing.
Yeah.
I like wouldn't accept that there was anything wrong with me ever, and I think if I had, a lot of my problems would have been like just like
Not as severe as they
Yeah.
were. Do you have any other questions, comments, or concerns?
notice if other people are suffering from it. Everyone's dealing with their own stuff.
Exactly.